Hi, Tin. Good evening.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, good evening. It's officially evening, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's officially evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I hope everyone is staying safe and well at home. Or if you're in the office, I hope I pray for traveling mercies for you. Yeah, so today we have an IBM webinar, and we titled it an AI-infused RPA. We tapped the Facebook group RPA Philippines because I don't know if you've heard, but IBM actually bought an RPA solution recently called WDG. And we just wanted to be able to share with you what we have to offer in the market, as well as hopefully get your insights as well on what we can do to improve it, or maybe use cases that we can think of when we introduce it to clients. We will entertain questions later. As Tin has mentioned, you can put the questions in the chat box. We will have a few IBMers present today to help answer it. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the session today. We have Francis Sorreta, who we will introduce later as the speaker. But also, I encourage you to take down notes. We will have some questions later, which is open to everyone. We are offering prizes as well for those who are able to answer the questions. It won't be hard questions, but I hope to get your participation in that, right? So I'll pass back the mic to Tin so she can introduce our speaker. Tin, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Iris. So our guest speaker for tonight is an automation architect lead in IBM Philippines. He has been involved with automation projects for 4 years and has been in IBM for 14 years. He's currently engaging with IBM clients to provide them a solution on how they will be able to jumpstart their company with automation. So let us all welcome Mr. Francis Sorreta.
Sorry. So thank you, Tin. Thank you, Iris. So good evening, everyone. Hope everybody is doing well. So before we start, I would like to say thank you to everyone for attending this session. And I also would like to say thank you to the Monster Lab team for hosting this event. So tonight I'll be discussing about IBM's new AI-infused RPA technology called IBM RPA, formerly known as WDG. So just to give a quick introduction, my name is Francis Joseph Sorreta. So I've been in IBM for 14 years and I'm currently the automation architect lead for IBM Philippines. So I'll be turning off my webcam for now since I'll be streaming some videos later during our demo. And I want to make sure that you'll be able to view and hear them properly. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in chat and we'll try to answer as much as we can during the Q&A section. And as Iris said, please do take notes and we'll have a contest or some questions later with prizes. So I'll just turn off my webcam for now. Okay, so I understand that not everyone is in this event knows the concept of RPA. So I'll give a quick overview of RPA and its benefits. So the meaning of RPA is robotic process automation, and we usually refer to them as bots, and they replicate the actions of humans on how they will interact with an application's user interface. So usually these bots run these tasks in a virtual machine hosted in either the cloud or on-premise. So since RPA works on top of our applications, we don't need to change anything in our existing interfaces. So we also can reduce the concept of swivel chair integration, which allows us to avoid inputting the same data from different systems. And these bots can execute high volume of work since they're more efficient and faster than a human. So imagine we have a company that still does everything manually. And they have about 500 FTEs or full-time employees that can perform about 5 million transactions. And the cost of these 500 employees is about $2 million US. So now after we implemented automation, those 500 employees are now going to be reduced to 50 employees and 100 bots, reducing the cost to $200,000 US and increasing the transactions to 10 million. So that's a big reduction in cost, which also means huge savings for the company and twice as many transactions. Okay, so IBM created the IBM RPA One Platform so that you can easily start in your automation journey. So in this package, you will have one environment, unlimited studio and unlimited OCR functionality, two attended bots and one attended bot. So just to quickly explain, the environment is where we would manage our robots as to where they can run, what time they need to run, or we can also manually trigger them to run. Then we have the studio. So this is where we will be able to easily develop our robots because we have more than 600 drag and drop commands. And then we can upload our bot to our environment once we've completed its development. Then we have the attended bot and unattended bot who's going to run and automate our processes, either in a virtual machine, cloud, or desktop. So the main difference of these two robots is that attended bots are manually triggered, while we can set unattended bots to run on a schedule. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about bot runner capabilities. So, which is connected to how many licenses you need given a situation. So for this, we have two scenarios. The first one, we have process A that will run for 15 hours and then process B, which is going to run for about 10 hours. So we need both processes to complete within 24 hours. So if we're going to run them in parallel, meaning let's say they both need to run at 10 in the morning, then we need to have two bots for that or two licenses. If they're going to run in sequence, meaning we're going to wait for process A to finish before we run process B, then that is going to cause some problems since we're not going to complete both runs in 24 hours because 10 plus 15 is 25. It's more than 24 hours. So we still need two bots for that situation. But then if we look at scenario 2, which is the third column, the sorry. Okay. Process A and process B would require 10 hours to complete. If we're going to run them in parallel, we need to have two bots for that. But if we're going to run them in sequence, then we only need one bot, since process B is going to wait for process A to complete before starting its run. So the good thing about bots is that we have a total of 24 hours consumed per day as compared to a human, which normally works for about 8 hours a day. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the differentiators of IBM RPA as compared to other RPA technologies. So the first one is we offer IBM RPA as a cloud software as a service. This makes it easier for companies to start their automation journey without thinking about setting up an infrastructure for it. Then we have unattended bots, which can automate our tasks without human intervention. And we have attended bots, which is manually triggered to automate our tasks. So in the lower left, we have IVA or Intelligent Virtual Agent chatbots, which is already built in the IBM RPA software, meaning we don't need to rely on a third-party software, making it easier for us to combine chatbots and RPA commands. Then we have OCR, which allows us to extract structured data from unstructured contents. So a good example of this is extracting a text from, let's say, an invoice from a PDF file. And also, I would like to remind everyone that this is unlimited for IBM RPA. So then we have Unlimited Studio, and this allows us to increase the number of developers working on our bots without any additional license cost. So this allows us to develop our robots faster. And lastly, we have concurrent execution, which allows us to run multiple bots at the same time in a machine. So I'll be showing a demo about this later so you can see it in action. Okay, so now we'll start to further discuss the different differentiators we have for IBM RPA. So we'll start with no limitation when it comes to our deployments. So we have the option to host our environment in cloud. and will have zero footprints, meaning we don't need to install anything in our computers in order for us to access that environment. But if a company wants to have their own environment set up on premise, then we also have that option as well. Okay, so now we'll look at some differentiators that will help us lower the total cost of ownership, which in return, it gives us more savings, or it gives the company more savings. So we'll start with the concurrent execution. So this feature allows us to run multiple robots at the same time in one single machine. So to show you why this feature can help reduce the total cost of ownership, so let's say we have 100 bots that we need to run concurrently. That would require us to have 100 machines as well to accommodate all 100 bots. But with IBM RPA, we only need 7 machines to run those 100 bots concurrently, which is a reduction of 93 hardware and operational costs. So the maximum number of robots that can run currently in a machine is set to 15 right now for IBM RPA. Okay, so I'll be showing you a demo video for this on what it would look like for this feature. Let me just play it. Okay, so in this demo video, as you can see here, we are going to run 3 processes at the same time. So let's just wait for them to load. Okay, so as you can see here, those 3 processes are currently running. And in the lower left part, as you can see, a user can still interact with another web browser. So while the 3 robots are running, the user will actually run one more robot, so the 4th one. And as you can see, the other 3 processes that are the other 3 robots that are currently running did not get impacted with this. So that's the power of concurrent execution. So I'll just move on to the next slide for this. Okay, so now we have a concept of multi-threading. So this allows us to keep using our computer even if a robot is running on the same computer. So you had a glimpse of this in the previous video, but I'll be showing another video so that you will be able to see it in action. Let me just play it. Okay, so imagine someone who works as a front desk agent in a bank. So a client comes in and is asking for a loan. So our agent inputs the name of the client and triggers the bot to get the information about the client. So while waiting for the bot to complete its run to get the data, our client starts to ask some questions to our agent. So our agent gets to open a notepad and start to take notes on our client's queries. So instead of waiting for our bot to finish and be on standby, our agent gets to be efficient and accommodate our client. So it's not actually limited to Notepad. Our agent can also open a browser to search for any answers that the customer is asking him or her. So this is an example. So the left side, the bot is currently running. And on the right side, as you can see, the user is typing something in WordPad. So the bot is not really getting affected. So other RPA technologies that I've experienced developing, they're going to cause an error to the robot when we do this. So usually we don't really touch the virtual machine when a robot is running. But it's not an issue for IBM RPA, as you can see. Okay, so I'll move on. This is quite a long video, but it has the same concept. Okay, so now we'll have a look at our IBM RPA chatbot and IVA, or Intelligent Virtual Agent. So since our chatbot is built in within IBM RPA, there's no need for us to rely on a third-party integration to create one. So this allows us to easily integrate this with RPA, providing a more engaging client interaction. So, okay, so in this demo, let's focus on what happened to our workforce during this pandemic. So the amount of online transactions and online calls has went up, And I'm sure we have experienced calling a company and waiting in line for hours just for us to receive an update from our online application. So this definitely had an impact on their customer satisfaction. And this next demo shows us how IBM RPA chatbot can help us with this problem. So let me just play this video. Okay, so in this demo, we're trying to follow up on our loan application. So the first thing the bot asks is for our application number, loan application number. Yeah, so right now it's typing. Okay, so in a matter of seconds, we were able to get the status. So in our case, we have a missing document, which is our salary statement. So we were instructed to upload that in the given link. So the good thing about this is that instead of letting our customers wait in line to talk to an agent, we're able to give what they need in seconds. And as you can see by the end of the conversation, there we go. So we were also able to upsell some of our promotions to our clients. So it's a win-win for both our company and clients. So in this case, we have promotions for the best rate of April and for our newly grads. Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper in our IVA and IVR, or interactive voice response. So we are starting to get into the AI integration bit as well. So I stated earlier that we don't need to integrate with third-party software in order for us to have a functioning chatbot, but we still have that option. So in the next two demo videos I'm going to show, you'll be seeing how our chatbot is integrated to a software called Telegram, and a sample demo on how IVR works. So we'll be showcasing as well how AI is integrated for both IVA and IVR. So this video should have sounds in it. So hopefully it has the right volume.
Our chatbot has been deployed to a Telegram channel, so let's open it up and start interacting with it. Now let's see how Laura can take advantage of this chatbot in her daily work. She opens Telegram, finds the IBM HR Digital Assistant, and starts a conversation. Laura asks the chatbot for the same information from before about the employees that sent her requests by email. She asks the chatbot about leave time. The chatbot understands the question and asks Laura for the name of the employee to start the Orange HRM system and perform the query. The chatbot execution can run at Laura's machine or at a server. For other questions, the bot works the same way. She can ask about leave, vacation, points, and commissions. This chatbot will really make Laura's job easier. As we have witnessed, IBM RPA can augment knowledge workers based on contextual information, leveraging AI capabilities such as classification models, complex decisioning, and natural language processing, entirely built into the platform, amplifying workers' adoption. We've also deployed the automation as a chatbot assistant, demonstrating how composable and reusable IBM RPA bots can be.
Okay, so as you've seen in the video, the chatbot triggers our bot to open a website to get the needed information, and it replies it back to our client. So during that video, we heard the term NLP, or natural language processing, and also knowledge base. So I'll explain more about this later after the next demo video. So I'll move on to...
Our chatbot has been deployed to a...
Hold on. Okay, so I'll play this one. This should have a sound as well.
Type the access code.
Hi, wait a moment, we will start our communication.
Hi.
Hello, I will be your virtual assistant for today. How may I help you?
Where's my order?
What is the tracking code for your order?
It's PH990509.
Thank you. Just a minute while I track your order. The order from tracking code number PH990509 is currently awaiting shipment to the chosen delivery address. The estimated time of arrival is 6 days.
That's too long.
We're sorry for the delay. We've been having some logistic issues lately. Can I help you something else?
Yes, I want to cancel my order.
Okay. May I ask the reason for the cancellation?
The delay.
Okay. I will need to confirm some information for security reasons. Please, what is your full name?
My full name is John Doe.
What is your date of birth?
December 20th, 1988.
Thank you for the information. Just a minute, please. Your order has been successfully canceled. May I help you with something else?
No, thank you.
Thank you for your patience. Should you need anything, just contact us again.
Okay, so as you've seen in both demo videos, both our IVA and IVR bots can answer our customers' questions properly. But how do these bots know what they need to reply? So that's where natural language processing, also known as NLP and knowledge base, comes in. So NLP is the feature that allows our bots to understand what our client is saying, and knowledge base is where the bot gets its response depending on the result of NLP. So we can definitely dive into this further on another session. So if you are interested, you can send us an email and we'll create another session for you to discuss about these features. But everything you've seen in the video, except for the Telegram, of course, is built in within the IBM RPA software, including the AI integration. So uh, the the IV and IVR, the NLP, and the knowledge base, they are all built in within the IBM RPA. Okay, so let's discuss about some RPA use cases and how we can identify a process that is a good candidate for automation. Okay, so these are some of the industries that can benefit from RPA, and we also highlighted some processes for each industry. But the good thing about RPA is that there's a possible RPA opportunity for almost all industry. So it's not really limited to this list. So later, I will be showing a more detailed sample use case for RPA that you can see. Okay, so now how are we going to identify the processes that are good candidates for automation? So first is a high number of FTEs working on the process. So the more FTE reduction after automation means higher savings. Then we have repetitive tasks and high volumes, since the expectation is the higher the transaction volume and frequency, the more hours is going to be saved once the process has been automated. So up next, we have the rules-based tasks. So as long as the process follows a certain set of rules and doesn't require any human intervention, then that can be a possible good candidate for automation. So then we have the stable process. This means that there are minimum changes in the application interface. So since RPA interacts with the UI of an application, if there are constant changes in the application's UI, then we need to keep updating the bot as well to accommodate those changes. So the lesser the change, the better. So lastly, we have structured data, since it's easier for RPA to read and process if the data is structured. But I want to point out, since IBM RPA has a built-in OCR with unlimited usage, we will still be able to accommodate unstructured data to an extent. Okay, so this is a more detailed use case for RPA, and the process we chose is bank reconciliation. So this is a very common process for different industries. That's why we chose this. So for this use case, we have 5 FTEs handling 30 accounts and an estimated salary of 30,000 pesos per month for each FTE. So that's a total of 1.8 million pesos annual cost for all 5 FTEs. So after we implemented RPA, the 5 FTEs were converted to 2 unattended bots, and the processing time was reduced from 2 to 3 hours to 20 to 30 minutes. And the annual cost was reduced to 1.5 million pesos. Now, I know you might say that the savings is not that high, but we must remember that this is only just for one process that was automated. And we're only using about 2% utilization of our bots. We can definitely automate more processes using these two bots without any additional license costs. And also just a reminder that all costs listed in this presentation are for demo purposes only. Okay, so I'll be showing you how IBM can assist you in your digital transformation journey. So for the first 3 months, we can begin with the IBM RPA One Platform, and we can start to automate your front and back office. So we have the rapid development option since we have unlimited studios, and we can process unstructured data since we have unlimited OCR. Then for 3 to 6 months, we can start developing our chatbots for a better customer engagement experience. And this is where we will realize our savings for our hardware and operation costs. Because even though the number of licenses will increase, the more processes we are trying to automate, the number of virtual machines is not going to increase much because of the concurrent execution feature of IBM RPA. Then, for 6 to 12 months, we can now introduce hyper automation, in which case we'll start to automate processes that RPA alone could not handle. So this is how we will truly achieve an end-to-end automation for our processes. Okay, so as you can see here, the one highlighted in yellow is RPA, and it's only the start of your automation journey. So IBM has an offering called Cloud Pak for Automation that would allow you to have an end-to-end automation of your processes included in a single package. So if you are interested in this offering, you can send us an email, and we can have another session to discuss this further. So if we have experienced RPA, it has a lot of limitations, and the other applications within this Cloud Pak for Automation offering will help RPA achieve that end-to-end automation that we want. Okay, so for my last slide, so why should we partner with IBM? So first, we are experts in the automation industry. So we have assisted multiple clients from different industries with their automation journey. Then for those of you who wants to learn more about IBM RPA and wants to become a business partner, we will provide you with training and enablement, and we'll even give you a test environment where you will be able to test out the technology free of charge. Also, since IBM RPA is fairly new in the market, especially here in the Philippines, we offer a very competitive pricing for our RPA licenses. So if you're interested with that, you can send us an email as well. So we also have an end-to-end automation package via our Cloud Pak for Automation offering, which I showed you in the previous slide. So, and lastly, we will be able to guide you through your automation journey from start to finish. Okay, so again, thank you everyone for listening and attending this meeting. So if you are interested to learn more about IBM RPA, the chatbots, or Cloud Pak for Automation, so please send us an email and we'll be able to set up a session with you. So thank you again, and we can now proceed with the Q&A.